Okay, and for my final gift that I got in the mail today, and I got to say again, I'm very impressed with how quickly everything came in. Everything was originally estimated to come in after Christmas for the most part. So I got Evil Ernie versus the Superheroes, which is from August of 1995. Let's see. Oh, there's the August right there. Again, suggested for mature readers. I pretty much flagged my site as not safe for children. I don't know what I'm going to have on here at any point, so I just keep it flagged that way. Uh, I wonder who that is on the ground. Um, yeah, so this was a first off kind of one shot. There's a follow up later, a few years later. I won't be getting that one right away because again, I'm just trying to read Chaos comics in order now. The reason for this is because there's a lot of crossover between the characters that they'd created, and that probably was to sell more comics. The other thing I got today, oh, and this particular issue and the following issues from this final shipment today are from Trike's Comic Alley. Trike's this pretty cool guy. He's currently associated with American Horror streaming site and other things, a comic shop, for example. You can go and shop his wares, including getting some Evil Ernie comics at trikescomicalley.com. But yeah, if you want to see Trike and talk to him in person, he does show up on heavy metal movie nights occasionally that you can access via their Discord. And he shows up on there with Hart, who was a comics creator, actually that worked at Chaos. And I will talk probably about more about him in the future. Hart's sort of the brains behind I think the brains behind, certainly the host and the person organizing AmericanHorrors.net, I believe, which is a streaming horror service. So what else did I get here? Beyond this Evil Ernie kind of one shot, I got Evil Ernie Straight to Hell. So this here is, at this point in the line of comics, it's really ramping up. You get, oh, and by the way, this is a chromium cover. I paid extra for this. Also, it was the only one that Trike had. That was a number one of this volume. And I wanted to get it from Trike because he was kind enough when I asked him on the Discord during the heavy metal movie night second one he was there, as far as I know. Actually, no, it was the third one he was there. Anyway, he agreed to put some up on his in his comic shop because he has a ton that aren't on his comic shop site. So anyway, I'd gotten this issue from him, and the whole series. There's 5 of these, and you can see here now we're getting these other characters showing up. So we got Chastity here. Lady Death has been ongoing. But there are some other ones that show up in this. So I'm going to page through this issue. I will just show, though, that, here's Cremator. He's, another character that shows up in Lady Death as well. And he has his own comics as well. And this was the second one. This December 95. This first one was, looking at the screen here, October 95. So, these are a bit later on. This is one of the reasons why I'm trying to get everything in a certain order so I can kind of keep everything kind of more coherent in my head. Certain stories do come earlier, like that New Year's Evil is a number 0 for Evil Ernie. But you can see here there's a total of 5 issues of Straight to Hell. Oh, wait, that's the comics one again. Where did issue 5 go? There we go. Number 5. And that was all I got from Trike this time. It is kind of expensive to buy a bunch of comics at once. But this is the first actual Chaos comics I've gotten since actually in quite a while. So I really wanted to know more of this series. I stopped at the Chaos Quarterlies for the most part, other than a few kind of very intermittent issues after that. And so I have no idea the story. But just again to kind of show you how all these kind of well, here we've got the story so far. Maybe this is good. They're putting this in the front. I know I have Revenge and Trade, Evil Ernie Revenge. And the issue is that you keep getting recaps. Like characters, when they talk for each new issue, they'll kind of regurgitate a lot of the story that's come before in their dialogue and things. And so I'm hoping that maybe some of these later comics don't do that as much. It is nice if you have a break. If these only came out, like, the first issue, came out well, let's see, again, it was, when is this? I have to look on the page here since it's not on the cover. October 95, and then the second one was in December. So, you know, 2-month gap, you do get kind of some delay and getting back into your story. Now, reading them right after each other, though, that's when it gets kind of monotonous to read. Oh, yeah, we know about this character. We know about his back story, you know, but yeah, so the way I've been doing this as far as finding which comics go next is I will do on the Wikipedia page for Chaos Comics, I will do a search by year. So I'll do, you know, a find on the page by year. And then from that, that's how I've been deciding, you know, which issues to get next. So right now in my collection, or at least by the end of the holiday shopping deliveries, I will have all of the Chaos Comics up to the beginning of Purgatory's arc. Except with the exception of the lingerie issue of Lady Death in Lingerie, August 1995. It wasn't that exciting to get that. I do have the swimsuit issue that actually showed up in the trade for Lady Death. I think Retribution. No, Retribution's later. One of the Lady Deaths, anyway. Her first stories, Lady Death Volume 1, is probably how it's listed. Anyway, swimsuit issue was in the back of that. So what am I looking through this again for? I don't know. Anyway, back to the page here. You know, here we got character Purgatory. You know, and so all these characters, you know, here we got character Pagan. You know, so, you know, we got all these characters just starting to show up. You know, just commonly in these stories, you know, and recurring characters. Price here is a character from pretty much the whole Evil Ernie storyline from the beginning. You know, I know there were more in here. Specifically, I wanted to call out Chastity shows up, you know. And Chastity, this might be her first appearance for all I know. I mean, I'd probably have to go and look at the lines. Maybe she shows up in Purgatory. But, yeah, this is where, you know, it would be kind of handy to have all the sequential issues. And I have been trying to order them by, well, not by character, but just by when they follow each other. So, you know, I have a Lady Death issue from, like, 2001 called The River, which takes place way back in the story. You know, they just did sort of a one-shot issue that covers part of her history that they just glossed over for years and years. They did mention it earlier on, but then they just never had covered it. So, you know, here's Cremator. So there you go. You know, this is another Evil Ernie arc that is after the Superheroes #1, and yeah, really looking forward to reading all these when I can soon. Now that I got a book club going, it's a bit harder to get many comics read, but, you know, since these are all sequential, you know, I probably make a point to at least read some of these over the holidays. Probably these, well, hopefully get into these too. So since I just read through all the Evil Ernie from the beginning up till now, I can't imagine myself skipping these. But I do want to get into Lynch Mob and some of the other comics that were earlier on. So we'll see how that all plays out. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. I know this was a longer one. This was the last shipment I got today. So all these all came in today, all 4 of these videos worth of comics. I have a couple more that might show up tomorrow. And that will be it. That'll be all my Chaos Comics for the holidays. But boy, that's plenty. What a haul. And I might have a couple other little things. But anyway, thanks for watching this video, and see you for the future ones. Bye.